All right, Raider Nation. For the first time in what feels like forever, we're stepping into a brand new era in Las Vegas where one simple but fiery question finally deserves to be asked. Who is the best player on this Raiders roster? And believe me, that question isn't as easy to answer as it might have been in years past. There's no clear-cut face of the franchise this time. No automatic Derek Carr, no no-brainer Devontae Adams locked at number one. Instead, we've got a roster built from scratch by a new regime led by Pete Carroll and John Spytek. A full-blown reboot from top to bottom, front office to coaching staff, and especially the players. So today we dive into what might be one of the most entertaining, controversial, and debated segments of the offseason, ranking every single player on the Las Vegas Raiders roster from 91 all the way up to number one. That's right, from the bottom of the depth chart, from the fringe practice squad guys all the way to the top tier franchise cornerstones. It's a mix of predictions, evaluations, and cold, hard expectations for the 2025 season. But before you light me up in the comments, let me explain how I built this list. First, overall impact. Not just talent, not just flash, but how much. Each player will truly impact wins and losses this season, factoring in the value of their position and what they bring to the table when healthy. Second, positional importance. Not all positions are created equal. A backup tight end isn't going to carry the same weight as a starting quarterback or a game-wrecking edge rusher. Third, 2025 expectations. If the player is healthy, what do I expect from them this season? This category is basically why Christian Wilkins ended up where he did. I'm not going to lie. So let's get this going and tear through the first batch of names from the bottom up. And hey, I know some of y'all might already be shaking your heads, but trust the process here. At number 91, Carter Bradley, quarterback, undrafted free agent. Look, this isn't about disrespect. It's about reality. He's got a cannon, sure, but odds are he doesn't make the final 53-man roster. And these low spots are full of bubble players who are long shots to even see the field. Oh, this is about potential, projection, and who can realistically carve out a role. Then we've got a name like Lockie Tossie. This guy came in as a defensive tackle and was then flipped to offensive line. Talk about a curveball. He's an international pathway program player, and that alone gives him a legitimate chance to hang around on the practice squad or even sneak onto the active roster. But make no mistake, these early rankings are filled with development projects and camp bodies. As we climb the list, we start to see some interesting names pop up. Guys like Tank Booker, Anthony Booker at defensive tackle. Big-bodied, aggressive, but still raw. Then there's Sakar Franklin, wide receiver, another UDFA that raised some eyebrows during off-season workouts. He's not the fastest guy out there, but he's physical, he competes, and that toughness might just give him an edge in training camp. Melo Dodson is another name I've got my eyes on, one of the biggest UDFA winners this offseason. He came in with low expectations, but the more we saw, the more we liked. And while someone like Dylan Lowy might be lower than fans expected, I just haven't bought into his long-term fit yet. Moving on up, you get guys like Dalton Wagner on the offensive line and Jalen Smith at linebacker. Names that feel like they're always in the mix but need to prove they belong. Wagner's big and powerful, but technique has always been a concern. Smith has the heart, the motor, but it's a crowded room with veterans like Jermaine Pratt, Ellendon Roberts, and Devin White already taking up space. The linebacker position is going to be one of the most competitive spots on this roster. Chris Smith at safety? Man, this might be it for him. We've seen flashes, but the consistency has never been there. And that's the brutal truth in the NFL. Potential doesn't mean anything if it never turns into production. Zamir White landed right outside my top 53. Tough call. I like the guy. I really do. But there's a logjam at running back, and I couldn't justify bumping someone else off to make space for him. Jacob Bolbenmoyer made it because, well, he's the long snapper. You can't build a roster without one. It is what it is. But Jawhar Joyner, top UDFA in my opinion. A hybrid receiver tight end type. Fluid athlete, good hands, and could fill a sneaky role if the Raiders get creative with their formations. And speaking of tight ends, let me throw out a name you probably aren't hearing enough. Quadia Ishmael. 6'6", 215 pounds. This guy could be the secret weapon in a 3 tight end look alongside Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. Heard whispers the Raiders want to load up at tight end and bully teams physically. If that's the case, watch out for Ishmael. He's got the size and versatility to be a problem. Then we get to guys like J.J. Peggs and Caleb Rogers. Peggy, drafted late, is a development project. Rogers was taken in the 3rd round and has the upside, but he's not plug and play yet. You're starting to see how this middle tier is full of players the coaching staff wants to mold into something, and we're going to be doing a whole lot of projecting in 2025. From there, we start climbing into the group that's on the bubble but trending upward. Cam Richardson, Charles Grant, Aiden O'Connell. O'Connell especially is in an interesting spot. He was one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL last year, and in this new scheme, he might thrive. If Geno Smith goes down, I don't think the Raiders completely collapse with O'Connell under center. You get guys like Devin White, who has all the physical tools, but is coming off some shaky years. Alex Kappa, huge question mark. He was once a key cog in a top-tier offensive line, but injuries and inconsistency have dropped him down. Ian Thomas probably slides in as tight end number 3, but if the Raiders go heavy on tight ends, that could mean more opportunities. Then there's Lonnie Johnson Jr., a solid veteran presence who can bounce between corner and safety. Amari Gaynor is another name I'm watching. UDFA who can cover, tackle, and is making noise in training camp. That's the kind of guy who makes rosters. Not flashy, but reliable and coachable. Cody Lindenberg, late round pick, developmental linebacker. These guys are all fighting for spots and trying to carve out roles on special teams. Now, this next group is where the talent really starts to pop. Tonka Hemingway, Thomas Harper, Raheem Mostert, Lucky Fotu, Charles Snowden. Guys who have shown flashes and could take real steps forward this season. Then you've got rookies like Dante Thornton Jr. and Jack Beck. I know, some fans are already arguing about their placement. But look, Beck might have a quicker path to immediate snaps. That doesn't mean he's better long term, just that his situation could lead to more early opportunities. Draft position often gives you that leg up. Now we start entering the top 25, and you're going to see some big-time contributors. Daniel Carlson at 24, automatic from deep. A true weapon. Isaiah Polamau has been steadily improving and could be a breakout candidate. Elandon Roberts at 22 is a tackling machine and vocal leader. Tyree Wilson, Dylan Parham, Jacorian Bennett. These are names you'll hear a lot this year. Parham is a Swiss Army knife on the offensive line. He's not elite at any one spot, but his versatility makes him a core part of the depth chart. Bennett, if healthy, is the best corner on the roster. Straight up. He has to prove it again, but he was that guy last year. Then you hit that tight end core. Michael Mayer is going into year 3 and should finally flourish in this new offense. He was underutilized early on, but with Chip Kelly running the show, expect him to be a focal point. Eric Stokes, former first rounder, still believe in the upside. The Raiders coaching staff loves his fire, his competitiveness. If Pete Carroll can unlock that potential, look out. Trey Tucker, speed, versatility, effort. He checks every box, just needs to stay healthy and consistent. DJ Glaze, second-year lineman, quietly gaining confidence from the front office. They passed on more experienced linemen in the draft, which says they believe in this kid. Jermaine Pratt at linebacker is the real deal. Veteran, productive, and will probably lead the team in tackles this season. High snap count, high motor, high IQ, a cornerstone of the defense. And that brings us to the final dozen, the cream of the crop. These next 12 players are the heartbeat of the Las Vegas Raiders heading into 2025. Some you'll expect, others might surprise you. But every name here earned their spot with production, potential, or both. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that sent shockwaves through the NFL rumor mill, whispers have begun to circulate that Lamar Jackson, the dynamic quarterback and former MVP, may have quietly parted ways with the Baltimore Ravens and could be on his way to the Las Vegas Raiders. While nothing has been confirmed by official team sources, several league insiders and anonymous reports have hinted at growing tensions between Jackson and the Ravens front office over the past few months. The alleged rift, fueled by contract nuances and differences in long-term vision, may have finally reached a breaking point. Add to that the Raiders' desperate need for a franchise quarterback, and the pieces begin to fit, at least on paper. Jackson, known for his electrifying playmaking ability and unmatched speed under center, would undoubtedly inject new life into the Raiders' offense. With a fan base hungry for a resurgence and a franchise eager to reestablish its identity in the heart of Vegas, acquiring a player of Jackson's caliber could be just the bold stroke they need. The move would also signal a dramatic shift in AFC power dynamics, potentially transforming the Raiders from dark horses to contenders overnight. Speculation has only intensified following reports of Jackson being spotted in Las Vegas recently, and while that alone is far from confirmation, it hasn't stopped fans and analysts alike from connecting the dots. Could it be just a personal trip? Or is it the early sign of something seismic unfolding behind closed doors? Neither Jackson nor the Ravens have addressed the rumors directly, but the silence has only fanned the flames. Social media too has played its part, with cryptic posts, likes, and follows hinting at a possible shakeup. For now, it remains in the realm of speculation, but where there's smoke, there's often fire. And if the whispers prove true, Lamar Jackson in silver and black could become one of the most talked about NFL storylines of the year. Stay tuned. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.